Hello and welcome to Spoonie Yoga. I'm Barclay McConnell and I am a trained and certified yoga teacher. I've been teaching for years and years to students of all ages and ability levels. I'm so grateful you've decided to take interest in my class. If you don't know what a spoonie is, that's just a term for someone who deals with chronic illness, any of the many chronic illnesses. I have an autoimmune disease called MCTD, and I started this class because I was in a support group for fellow sufferers of the same disease and offered to teach free yoga classes. And so many people had interests that had other chronic illnesses. So I decided to combine and open it up to all spoonies and create classes specifically designed to help people who struggle on this level. So I'm glad you're here. I'm going to share a little bit about these classes. This is a brief introduction, and I'm going to go over what the class is about, who it's suited for. I'm going to talk a little bit about props you may need. And then you can go from here and take any of the classes on my YouTube channel. They are all at the same gentle level that is doable by anybody of any ability level. So they each have a theme, and just pick from amongst them according to your choice, your interest. So the classes, as I said, are very gentle. I want you to bear in mind that you should always listen to your body. Before you even begin a yoga class, you should really consult with your medical team. But what we're doing, you may want to emphasize to them, is very gentle. You can even do it in a chair. If you can't do it on your mat, you could sit on your couch, you could sit on a bed. You might not be able to do everything from a position other than the mat, but you can do much of it. And really with yoga, the entire core of the practice is the breathing. And even if you sat on your mat or in your chair and did the breathing practices that we do for the length of time of the class, you would get significant benefit from it. I'm very passionate about yoga. It has been extraordinarily healing for me. I've been dealing with this illness for 30 years, and for many, many years, I couldn't get out of bed most days. I was super sick and in significant pain. So yoga has helped me heal. I am fit and vibrant, have very few symptoms at this point, even though I'm in my 50s. So many people who have MCTD just get worse as they get older. I am living proof and hopefully an inspiration to you that you can be healed of these symptoms. Just takes a while and some dedication, some consistent effort, I guess I should say, and heading in that direction. So I do hope that this will be an inspiration for you. That said, let's talk a little bit about props. Especially with people with chronic illness, you may need props, right? So this is a yoga strap. It has a little buckle at one end and it's kind of long. And it's especially helpful for poses where you may be having trouble getting into the pose. You can use a strap in certain instances, and also it can help you deepen a stretch, so that becomes helpful. You don't have to have it, but I recommend it. They're only a few dollars and can really come in handy. I may refer to them in classes. Also blocks. Many people have 2 yoga blocks handy. This is especially helpful if you're in a pose, like a standing pose, and you're trying to reach the floor, but your hands don't quite reach, you're not quite flexible enough. You can use a block, and you would lean in the pose on the block instead of reaching down to the floor. So that can be really helpful. The other thing I ask that you have near are some pillows and a blanket. As you see, I've got these stacked here. We use pillows to support ourselves in certain poses and to make the last pose especially nourishing and restorative. Putting a pillow under your head. I like to put a bunch of them under my knees to take pressure off the lower back in that pose. So having those handy is really great too. What else to tell you? I'm really glad you're here. I try to keep a sense of humor flowing through the class, keep our spirits lifted up. That's a big part of what makes a practice like this healing. I do believe that yoga is an especially healing practice more than, it's not really just the form of exercise. It does help you get more flexible, more strong. It improves your posture and your balance. And it's been proven to relieve stress. But what the most significant thing to me about yoga, the benefit that comes especially for people who deal with chronic illnesses, is that it downregulates the nervous system. So with chronic illness, our nervous systems are really overactive, and we're in that chronic stress cycle where cortisol is worsening our symptoms because it increases inflammation. It does all kinds of detrimental things. It causes fatigue and headaches and irritability and weight gain. It increases your blood pressure. It does all these things. And yoga creates space where the nervous system is calmed down and your body is able to just pause and heal. It breaks that chronic stress cycle. Hopefully this makes sense. If you ever have any questions at all, you can feel free to message me via the Facebook page, which is Elevate Yoga and Wellness. Within that page, there are also a couple of private groups for my various yoga classes, and there is one specifically for Spoonie Yoga. So feel free to request an invite to join that private group. I'd love to have you in there. That's it. Thank you so much for your interest in Spoonie Yoga. I hope to practice with you soon. Namaste.